Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the Eye Test FC. We're back after a short winter break. It has nothing to do with both Liverpool and Arsenal dropping points. But here we are. And Liverpool are officially top at Christmas. To that, cheers, Samarth.
Cheers. I like
And
I like
and
how you
the
didn't even mention City there, which feels nice.
which feels nice. But yeah, if Liverpool win their game in hand, they're 15 clear of City. What I
Yep.
said is what's going to be the case end of December for Liverpool to be favourites for this league title. But hey, the Liverpool Wankfest continues. So let's talk about the game directly.
For sure, for sure. I think a good start for Liverpool, coming off of two difficult results, had to get your momentum back, playing a Spurs side that just beat United midweek as well. Very unpredictable, as we've seen. And Liverpool got off to a flyer, I would say. Even though the scoreline was nil all, I think the
Yeah.
way Liverpool played and dominated that game was incredible. I think Salah should have passed that to Szoboszlai already, and it would have been 1-0. But eventually, we got the breakthrough. Trent Alexander-Arnold with a peach of a ball. I don't think it can be any more perfect.
Bro,
And
he's
1-0
not a
to Liverpool.
fullback. He's a quarterback. Like, what was
Lol.
that ball, bro? Like, I could see it coming from a mile away, and the Tottenham defense gave him so much space.
But it
So
was
much space, bro.
perfect.
It
Like
was
it was
inch
it was
perfect, bro.
so hard. Like that
Yeah,
was like as De Bruyne-esque as the like I mean honestly at this
sure.
point Trent-esque as it gets.
Hmm.
And then Liverpool quickly got the second.
Yeah. Same thing from the other side with Robertson
Yep,
giving a
Robertson
quarterback cross.
and Alexis McAllister, not the first McAllister to be left home alone at Christmas.
You planned that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
But hey, like I think even it was 2-0, but even watching Tottenham for that first 35 minutes of that game, man, they had no tactics basically. It was just
Yeah.
Foster giving the ball to Spence kind of walking two steps, either giving the ball to Bissouma or maybe to Son, who just seemed off pace. Like it was such a
Yep.
disjointed game from Tot. Like the press was so disjointed. Like I didn't even feel it was an impressive result, and this has taken away nothing from Liverpool. Like winning 6-0 in the Premier League away from home, impressive. Winning 6-0 away from home against a top six team, even more impressive. But it just seemed like, yeah, like it would be a tennis score. And it should have been a cricket score, but it was a tennis score. And there were just chance on chance on chance. And honestly, the 6-3 scoreline was flattering for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like the three goals of, like, I know we are not going like sequentially, but the three goals of Tottenham came because, Liverpool's defense just fell back. Like for
Fair enough.
Madison's first goal, like
Yeah.
like Van Dijk was ball watching for Solanke's finish.
Hmm.
Also, the third goal he was played onside. So, sure, like people can have an off day, and I'm not blaming
But
the Liverpool defense for it, but like it should have been 6-0, bro. Like, and I'm not again saying, oh shit, it was disappointing by Liverpool. I'm not saying that at all. Like, it's just Tottenham, bro. Like, why do you, how can you play like that in front of your own fans? Like, it's just disgraceful. Like,
Yeah, and
there was
you can
nothing.
see why they're not winning anything, right? But as disjointed as Tottenham were for the three goals though, I think they were all very well taken chances. Like, the first one, McAllister just after scoring, giving the ball away, but Madison using Gomez and Van Dijk very well to curl that inside. Allison not even being able to see the ball, or Kulusevski's volley, which was incredible, or even Solanke, like, a first time finish on the half volley. I think at least for those three attackers, like, I'm not saying they had the greatest games throughout the 90,
Hmm.
but when they were presented with the chance, I think they were all three difficult chances. Like, it was not on a plate for either of those three, and they took their chances well. But the player that stood out to me, other than the main man, obviously, was Dominic Szoboszlai. But Szoboszlai winning that header and Salah playing that pass into Szoboszlai again, who's just
Yeah.
working tirelessly. Like now, at least for the past month and a half, Szoboszlai's work rate and even his creative mind is now finally getting activated, and we're seeing the player that Liverpool, spent money on last year. And what a performance! What a performance by Szoboszlai.
Yeah, honestly, it's just annoying. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's just annoying. I had my script ready, 5-star Arsenal, and then Liverpool have to hit Tottenham for 6. Like, it's just annoying. Like, yeah, sure. I mean, it's a great performance by Liverpool. It's also, as I said, impressive to win at Tottenham. I feel that balance with McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch, it's also impressive because, by the way, this is the second year that they're playing together in as
Yeah.
a three. So it's good that they have had that time to gel, click. But again, you see, in my opinion, Trent had the best. Trent was the best player on the pitch. Close second was Szoboszlai, but still Salah had like a goal and assist or
Yeah,
something mad.
it's
Like,
just so normalized though. That's what I'm saying. Like Salah is now the first player ever in Premier League history to reach double figures for goals and assists before Christmas. And the season that he's having right now, it's just being so normalized. He's now just Messi has more double assists, double figure goals and assist seasons. He has more goals and assists than Thierry Henry now. And
I was just seeing how long it would take for you to mention that.
dude, it's absolutely incredible. And like I don't see what is going to stop him from winning the Ballon d'Or this year. Like he's on if he keeps unless he posts a photo with a Christmas tree, which usually doesn't go well. Um like
True.
like he's already surpassed like 6 of 7 Hazards this season. Like he's already
Yeah, something
like
crazy.
like for his standards he does I guess tail off, but I think the biggest, and now speaking outside of Tottenham, Spurs, and going to Chelsea, which are second across at Merseyside as well, in that stalemate, I think this year is the first time where it feels like you don't need 90 points to win a league.
Yeah, I don't think those standards are normal. I think City have normalized those standards. But even talking about that game, right? It's three mid block that Everton have been using. They've had Doucouré, Idrissa Gana Gueye, and I think Aurel Mangala, who I don't think should be starting in the Premier League. But the three of them have just fallen like a low block. And if you compare that against other teams, right, where you have an attacking player in those three, you just have all three who are just sitting back in an already very good back three for Everton. And then Calvert-Lewin is playing as a 10. So all your goals are coming from Dwight McNeil when fit or Iliman Ndiaye. And when he's not fit, like Harrison is playing an Iliman Ndiaye. But that's it. And they're okay with that. And looking at Everton's festive schedule, it's really difficult. They had like the Merseyside derby until it got cancelled. They had Arsenal at the
Yeah.
Emirates. They have Chelsea. They have, I think, in a few days, City to play with. So it's a very difficult festive period. And they've come out of that with 2-0-0s. And that's big for Everton.
But I think for them, it's going to be about getting the points from the mid-team tables. It's going to be getting points off of their competitors. Where if you see Everton in the table, they're still very much in the bottom half. But now moving on to the third place, where Arsenal gave Crystal Palace a real run for their money and won 5 stars, finally scoring outside of corners. Arsenal with 5 goals against Palace. How do you feel about that?
A bit bittersweet. Like Jesus finds his shooting boots after a year, and then Saka goes off injured until March. Like not
Uh-huh.
great. So it just feels like this season everything like it's just one after the other. Like things which are just unlucky. And also it's like when it rains it pours, right? Like it's like Saka's
Yeah.
injured, but also Sterling's injured. So and
Yeah,
what
but
I find crazy is Arsenal only have themselves to blame because they had the summer to recruit. They sold very well in the summer, but they got rid of, Nketiah, Smith Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson. Didn't replace them with anyone except Sterling on loan. So they have themselves to blame. And that's more of a holistic, what do I think about Arsenal so far? But the game itself was impressive. Like Saka got off injured like 15 minutes into the game. but they didn't skip a beat. They gave, Crystal Palace a run for their money. The
For
first goal
sure.
was again very well taken. Crystal Palace's first goal, Saliba's mistake, where he again backed off too much and let Ismail Assar, who's been having a very good few weeks, score. Back then, you again could feel, under the lights at Sellers Park is going to be
1-1.
difficult.
Yeah.
1-1, it seems like a 3-1. But then, Jesus immediately scored, and then the third goal again. So it was, Arsenal were able to kill off that game very easily. I
Yeah.
don't think Arsenal were that, effective. They were effective in scoring, but it wasn't like a, hey, let me dominate the whole half. I think Arsenal have played better against Fulham in the draw. Against Everton, they just controlled the game but didn't really create. So out of those three games, I think it wasn't Arsenal's best game, but this is the difference between winning and coming third, because you need to have a goal scorer consistently. And this is what frustrates me as well, that Jesus hasn't done anything for a year noteworthy, and then he scores 5 in the span of 3 days. So
Yeah. And you just know it's like going to be a purple patch, right? Like it's going
yeah,
to be like hope. I mean, I guess for you, I hope he can, continue providing the goals now that Saka is out. It's going to be a little hard to see how Arteta fills in that gap with another injury. But Arsenal just need to get their momentum back, and 3 points are 3 points. So that's
sure.
that's good for Arteta's men. But the man who's not being able to score even 1 point at all is Pep Guardiola. And now with 9 defeats in 12, man, what do you say about City? Like, we spoke about the Forest win and how we wanted that to be a blip, and it is a blip because Emery's men completely deserved that victory. I think even with Villa could have had if a tennis score, if not a cricket score. Like Duran himself could have scored a hat trick.
Durant should have scored 2 in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, bro, exactly. Exactly.
And it is unbelievable. I could not believe what I was seeing. Like, I switched on the TV at kickoff, and then the first action of the game was Guardiola gave the ball to John Duran. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I have never seen City do this. And I actually want to speak about John Duran and his technique. For that goal, it seems like super simple, right? And then I actually saw that in slow motion. And when for the first goal, so the ball went in. It was a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. It was basically like a sweat. And bro, John Duran didn't smash the ball or even finesse the ball. He just hit the ball to the ground. And that created like a
A
microburst
little
that
bump.
just took the ball
A
over the
little Ozil,
keeper.
like kind of how
A,
Ozil used to do that. Ozil has that trademark, honestly.
Yeah, but bro, imagine that with that Ozil trademark where he showed on YouTube how he did it,
Yeah, how
but
he did it.
with the pace that he has, with the hold up play that he has,
Yeah.
man, that's just
Duran is a
incredible.
star, honestly. Like he scored and he can shoot outside the box. He's the finisher. He's a good header of the ball. He's he's a really complete striker.
Bro, I saw a tweet recently where it said John Duran plays football like he's learnt it 10 minutes ago. Like he's learned the rules 10 minutes ago. He shoots from wherever it goes in.
Word.
Like he
Dude.
just tries doing it, it goes in. But man, what a player, huh? Like what a
Yeah,
find.
yeah. And honestly, like Aston Villa needed this as well because they've not had the bestest form
True.
in the last month and a half. And nice to see them bounce back. But I mean, one positive for City is that Phil Foden has finally scored a goal. Um,
You know what? Phil Foden has scored a goal, but that goal was such a shithouse goal, bro. Like it was
yeah,
oh, the guy just tripped and fell and this guy got it wasn't like a well
basically.
created. It was a 2-0, bro. It was just lucky
Yeah,
to
yeah,
look like
it's a
2-1.
two for sure. And it yeah, exactly. 2-1 makes it look like City was still in the game when they were completely wiped out. But a team that got wiped out was United 3-0. And Bournemouth have now beaten Arsenal, City, Spurs, and United now at Old Trafford. So incredible, right?
Man, what a game though. And take nothing away from Bournemouth. Like it might seem like oh shithouse 3-0. No, it was controlled, calculated. Again, one of my favorite players, Semenyo, uh,
Oh, dude, Semenyo
popping
should have
up.
scored one more as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
But bro,
But
what a performance, man. Like he just has everything to his game, bro. Like
yeah.
physicality, pace, and when he gets on the ball, it just you just stand up. He's one of those players where he wouldn't
He's
look
got
out
that
of
flair
place.
about him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got
He
that
wouldn't look
flair.
out of place in any Big Six, bro. Like he can walk. Like even in the City team, like when you see like other players not playing well, like Grealish not scoring, Foden not
Yeah,
scoring,
I
like
mean, City
he
basically
can.
don't have a winger right now, but yeah.
Yeah,
But to Amorim's credit, though, I feel like his United side still played well. Like, if you actually look at the number of chances that they created, like, they could have scored. I'm not saying that, like, they were in the game at all. I think Bournemouth did definitely blew them out of the water, but they still came up with an XG of 2.26. And like that accounts to something. Like I just think Amorim needs time. And this is me saying this as a Liverpool fan, right? Where he's also again has had his issues, especially with Marcus Rashford. United just have some player that is always underperforming and wants to speak up to get attention. But his life hasn't been easy compared to what he was at Sporting, and
of
now you're in
course.
the limelight at United. So for me, it's still about the squad. I don't think it's that much to do with the manager that he's incapable of, turning this around. But like it's the same issue at
He needs
United
time.
that
He needs time.
80% of the squad needs to be shipped out. Like
Yeah.
that's what needs to happen at United.
Yeah, well, the squad needs to be shipped out. At the same time, he needs time to stamp his own authority. But
Yeah.
on that, I think he coached okay. It wasn't too bad, but I think the decision making, right? Like I think Bruno, as you have said in the past, is a bright spark for United. But I felt like he just kept shooting when he shouldn't have, and I think the XG was reflective of his shots because that's how it's calculated, right? So the XG was reflected on his shots and not on how well United have played. Like, I don't think United deserved any more than a 3-0 loss in that game. Sure, like,
They
okay, the
deserve
first
to
goal
lose
was,
for sure.
yeah, the first goal was well taken. The second was a penalty, which was just clumsy by Mazraoui.
Yeah.
Fine. The third was just like in double quick time, like just to make it 3-0. And I get that, right? It was Bournemouth in dreamland. But United didn't really do anything even after that third goal. Like they were just
Like
pedestrian.
Hoyland had a chance. Ahmad got into a couple good positions, and like yeah, that's what I'm saying. That like he needs some time. But see, United fans also shouldn't go crazy. Like now that Ahmad is having a relatively good spell of like a let's a purple patch or whatever. Like they do this time and again. Last year they did this with Kobe Menu, and he's like not even to be spoken of this year, as I predicted at the start of the year. Like stop hyping up your players because they have one good game. Yes, Ahmad has potential, but stop putting that pressure on the kid and then completely eradicating his potential. It's the same thing with Rashford. The fact that Rashford was better at 21 than he is in his prime at 27 just goes to show you that United is just such a bad place to grow as a player. Like
Man,
whether
I think it's
that's
just the media, man. I honestly don't think a lot of fans. Okay, I know some United fans are like,
it's
"Oh
it's
yeah,
it's the
players are the
whole
best," but
it's the
yeah,
amalgamation of things where like I don't remember the last successful player to grow in United. Like that's like Bruno was already a quality player who moved to United and he was a successful signing. But I don't remember the last player who's consistently grown at United as a talent. Whether that's Jadon Sancho, Mason Mount, Van de Beek, De Ligt, you talk about any potential player that has gone to United, he has just come off worse.
yeah,
Like there
that's
isn't a
true.
single one.
Factually,
There
that's
isn't a
true. I was
single
I
one.
was legit thinking, yeah, no, not a single
There
one.
isn't a single one.
McTominay, it's a
Sure, but
stretch.
yeah, like but
I'm naming
is that
one after so
happening?
much of a struggle. I get your point
Yeah,
though. Yeah,
yeah.
you're
It's
totally
it's
right.
it just kills the potential completely. Yeah, I think that wraps it up for this week's episode. Now we've got the craziest day in football coming up, Boxing Day. Let's see what surprises that holds for us. And we've got weekend football as well. So exciting times in the Premier League. Let's hope nothing changes in terms of the league standings, though. And I'll see you guys next week.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.